Here you go, press record. Oh, spotlight this guy. Review. And we'll start at the front of the mat and do some sun salutations. So setting yourself down first. Let your eyes open. Take a moment to focus on everything you can hear. All of the sounds around you, small and big, repetitive and unique. And then come to the sense of space around you, where your body is, how you are connected with the earth, how you are standing. Finding stillness and verticality. So feeling that line of energy from the soles of your feet to the crown of your head. And noticing your breath. Taking a measure of where you are at this morning and visualizing the edges of your mat. Keeping yourself on the mat for the practice, mind and body. Still, vertical, light and strong. Let's exhale here in mountain pose. As we inhale, swing the arms around, look up, stretch up. Exhale, forward fold. Hands coming down to the ground, pushing the hands down. Let's bring the right foot back. I'm going to point my toe because my toe is cut, but you can do what you need. Let's inhale, reach up. Exhale, onto hands and knees. Inhale, arch, and exhale, round. We're going to take a few breaths of rounding and arching. Engaging, noticing the sensations. You might have a little stiff abdominal muscles from yesterday. I'm hoping I can feel mine for sure. Yes, really stretching them as you inhale and drawing them in as you exhale. And coming back to center, keeping the core nice and tight. I'm going to look at our hands. I'm going to do a little bit of wrist work before we start the full practice. So spreading the hands down into the ground, fingers apart in a comfortable way. Let's push the fingertips down into the ground and the base of the fingers. And we're going to inhale, lift the base of the wrist, and exhale, bring them down. Keeping the fingers engaged, knuckles a little bent. And coming back to center. I'm going to place the hands underneath the shoulder. Again, grip the fingers, grip the base of the fingers. And let's make some circle with the chest over the wrist. So noticing how much weight you want to put into your wrist. Let's do some circles to the left. Pushing into your fingertips like you want to draw the fingertips back towards the palm of the hands. Feeling the engagement through the forearm. Knuckles ever so slightly bent. Base of the fingers also reaching down. Now I'm going to change direction, circles the other way. Keep your core engaged, keep your spine nice and long, back of the neck, back of the head lined up with the back of the neck. And let's come back to center. Walk your fingers out to the side. Again, I'm going to pull, lift the palms of the hand and bring them down. And then hands flat, arms vertical, gripping with the fingertips. We go again. Let's do about 5 circles on one side, about 5 on the other side. Keeping the elbows nice and tight and trying to keep the crease of the elbows towards the front of the body, or towards the front of the mat, sorry. Breathing deeply, expanding the shoulder blades along your back, keeping the neck nice and long. Change circle direction. And do one more, and come back to center. Let's walk the fingers all the way to face us. And gently moving the knees in closer if we need. We're going to lean back, let the wrist come up and come forward. So stretching the inside of the wrist. Being gentle with the wrist, noticing the sensation. And then coming back, very gently, very small. Let's try 3 circles in each direction, pushing the fingertips into the ground, holding yourself. And then change directions. Again, to keep a lot of weight into your knees. If you feel it's too much, you don't want it to feel it tingling. You want to feel the engagement through the hands and the forearms. Come back to center, into kneeling. And this time we're going to place the back of the hands down on the ground with the fingers pointing us. And see if we can gently draw ourselves back. So lifting the wrist. Keeping the back of the fingers down into the ground. So again, small movement, couple of neck movements if we need to, if we feel that like there's a tension that goes from the wrist all the way to the shoulder. See if you can loosen the nerves by gently moving your head from one direction to the other. And slowly come back. Let's hold one wrist, nice and tight, shake the hand, up and down, back and forth. And then take the other hand, hold, and shake. Try and do the shaking with the holding hand, letting the other one flop. And then both hands loose, shake, up, down. And come back onto hands and knees, step into plank, push into the fingertips, exhale knees, arch the back, chest and chin. Inhale into cobra, shoulders back. Exhale into downward dog, stretching the body out, drawing the navel in. Trying to tilt the pelvis, especially if you have a tendency to arch your back, so really lengthening the lower back. Expanding through the upper back, having a look at the elbows, turning the crease of the elbows forward, which widens the space around the neck. Let's exhale back into a plank shape. Oh, sorry, back onto hands and knees, but like a strong hands and knee, which is basically a plank with the knees down. So my weight is over my hands, my hips a little forward. I'm engaging my pelvis. We're going to breathe in here on an exhale. We're going to step down onto the forearms, starting with the right arm. And then we're going to inhale, right arm comes up, left arm comes up. Exhale, left, right. Inhale, left, right. Exhale, right, left. Inhale, right, left. Move with your breath. So you change direction every time. Exhale, come down into the forearm. Inhale, come up. With your core engaged, let the weight move up and down. Feel your shoulders warming up. And come back onto hands and knees. So keeping those hands underneath us, elbows facing forward, gripping with the fingertips. Let's engage the core. Inhale, right leg back. Exhale, bring the knee towards your opposite elbow. Inhale back. About 8 times on each side. Keeping the body steady, keeping the arms and the chest steady. Squeeze the core to get your knee in. Last one. Exhale, come back. Take a little child pose just for a couple of breaths if we need to. And inhale, back onto our strong hands and knees. Engage the core. And again, inhale, left leg back. And exhale, come and touch your elbow. Try not to move the arms. If you can flex the ankle as you inhale and stretch the leg behind you. Push into the hands. Look at the fingertips. Keep them nice and tight into the ground. So if they go wide a bit. Let's do 2 more. And exhale, release into child pose. If you need to, place the back of the hands onto the ground, elbows hugging towards the body, stretching out the wrists. Inhale, extend the hands forward, look forward. Exhale, back into downward dog. Holding a nice and tight downward dog. Lengthening the spine, turning the elbows forward, widening the space around the shoulders, dropping the head down, bend your knees, Joe, push your hips back. Nice. And in downward dog, you're going to lift one leg and bring your thigh to your chest without moving the rest of the body. And then you're going to exhale, bring it back down. And now we're going to do the other leg. So sorry, on the exhale, you come and stick your thighs close to your body, your knee to your chest. And inhale, come back. Trying to really not move anything except for that knee coming towards the chest. So the spine, the arm don't move. So you're going to pedal like this. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, come back. Again, feel the fingertips onto the ground. Rotate the crease of the elbows forward. See if we can hold one foot up for a few breaths. So bending the knee as much as you can, heel towards hip, knee towards chest. And then upper body into downward dog shape. Exhale, release. And then next exhale, change leg. How close can you get the chest to your, the knee to your chest? Look down and squeeze it in. And exhale, release. Look forward and make very small step towards the front. Put weight into your hands. Look at your fingertips. Push the fingertips into the ground. Keep as much weight into the hands for as long as you can. And then when your feet are forward, just release into a forward bend. Release the hands. Release the legs. Let the body dangle. So we're going to keep, I know for years I've told you to do your forward bend with knees really bent. And now we're going to experiment forward bending with legs straight. Now when your legs are straight, you want what I call a micro bend or an engagement of the quadriceps. So you're not like using all of your muscles to push your leg back and straighten them until overextension. You're keeping them lined up. So you're engaging the front of the thighs to keep them nice and straight and not overextending. There's no pushing the knees back. But then we've got our legs that are as straight as they go. Now I'm going to reach down with the crown of the head. We can even interlock the fingers behind the skull. Just take hold of the base of the skull. Dig the fingers, the fingertips just into the very top of the neck, the attachment of the head to the skull. And as we breathe here, let the weight of the upper body lengthen the back of the legs, lengthen the back of the spine. As you inhale, look up with your eyes to your toes. As you exhale, look down towards your navel. It's only your gaze moving, but it also gives intention to the pose. Try not to have all your weight in your heels. Digging the pads of your toes into the mat the same way we're digging the fingers. Use the grasp of your toes to pull yourself more forward. And then on an exhale, really bend the knees. Release the head. Bring your hands onto your thighs. And let's come into a supported chair pose. So hands on the thighs. I'm going to try and find a place where the arms can go straight. The core is engaged. The back is nice and tall. Let's see if we can breathe here. So drop the shoulder back. Try not to arch your back like I always do. Notice how much you can bring your knees forward, your hips back. Finding perfect balance place. And breathe here. And then keeping the shape all the same, come and extend the hands out to the side. Inhale, look to your left. Exhale, turn all the way, look to your right. Inhale, look to center, reach the hands up. Exhale, engage your core. Inhale, come up, lengthen. Exhale, back to center. Okay. Like to try a little balancing. We'll give it a go standing first, and then we might take it to the ground and bring it back up. So I don't know, do I have enough space in this room? So we're going to start with the hands up, straight up over the shoulders. So we're going to start with this pose, finding verticality in the body, feet close to each other, because we're going to shift the weight into one foot, so you can look down, tuck your tailbone, hollow your body, push into your feet. And now we're going to shift the weight onto the left foot and take the right foot off. And we're going to try and hinge simply around the left leg. So the upper body goes down as the back leg goes up. Now I don't have space to extend my arms, but if you do, extend your arms. Let's inhale back to center. Exhale the knees in. Inhale, extend the foot forward. Holding for 3 breaths. Push into the standing foot. Exhale, foot down, mountain pose, and start again, same foot. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, warrior 3. 3 breaths. Inhale, come up. Exhale, bring the knee in. Inhale, extend, arms out to the side. Lift that foot, extend both legs. And exhale, release. Nice. All right, let's do the other side. I'll face this way, I might have space for my arms straight. So starting in mountain pose. Inhale, hands up. Lift the left foot. Exhale. Try and hinge. See if you can engage the left hip, and as you lift the left leg, the whole body comes. Let's hold for 3 breaths. Inhale, swinging back. Exhale, knee to chest straight away. Lock your fingers. Inhale, expand the foot, hands on your hips or out to the side. 3 breaths here. Point your toes. Exhale, mountain pose. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, let's go back with the left leg. Warrior 3. Ooh, 3 breaths here. Again, balance. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, extend the foot. And exhale, release. Coming back to the front of the mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold, hands down to the ground. Stepping back into a plank pose. Nice strong plank pose. Let's exhale, drop the knees, keep the core engaged. And we're going to come down onto the elbow with the forearm sideways. And here we're going to see if we can maybe lift back into plank and come into a side plank. So forearm sideways. Can you see?
No, I can't see what you're doing, Jim. Okay, yeah.
It's very,
I just can't see. It's my ear.
I know it's very dark today.
So you're just on your plank and into a...
So basically, we're going to do plank, engage the core, drop the knees, and then step. I'll show you from this side. So down to the knees, step the forearm down, and then lift the knees again.
Okay.
Come to my plank, and we'll do some arm stuff here possibly. And then exhale, back down to hands and knees, change side, come back, lifting the knees, and into a forearm side plank on the other side. I'll just Jerry too. Oh, Jerry, you're back. Good.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so that's it. Yeah. So we're back down into some plank exercises, Jerry. So we start in a nice strong plank, and then we just drop the knees but keeping the core engaged. We come down on the forearm like we did earlier, but pointing the forearm across the body. And then when the forearm is planted, lift the feet and swing onto the sides of the feet, really lifting the hips up. And then we can inhale the hands up. Exhale, forward. Holding the side plank, 3 breaths. And then planting the hand again. Coming back onto hands and knees. 1 breath in the center. And changing direction. So plant the forearm. And then lift the hips, lift the knees, come to side plank. I'll let you experiment with the top arm, what feels good. I quite like reaching it up over my head and back to the hip, keeping a lot of space under the hips on the ground. Back to hands and knees in between. Changing and coming back. We'll do 2 more on each side. Keeping your head in line with your spine. Lifting the hips nice and high. Back onto hands and knees in the middle. Keeping the core engaged. All right, last time on each side. Nice vertical line in the body. We can keep the body, the arm steady if we want to for the last one. And exhale. Back to hands and knees. Last time on the left. And exhale. Back to center. Let's come to sitting. Well done. We're going to come and sit with the feet flat in front of us and take a very straight back. So using the hands, take a really straight back. Tilting the pelvis as far forward as we can. And then as we're coming down, we're going to roll the pelvis, so tilt it back. Bring the back of the hips down into the ground. When the hips are down into the ground, we're going to start lengthening the legs as we get the lower back into the ground. Just the lower back. And then we're going to roll the lower back up as we're drawing the legs back. Coming back, tilting the pelvis forward. Exhale. And it's again looking for that lower spine to roll down. So you're coming, you're tilting the pelvis, you're getting your lower back down, upper back stays up. Try and synchronize the movement of the spine and the legs. And really coming into a forward tilt when you come up. Heels are on the ground at all times. Trying to get the legs to straighten as the back goes down. Lower back never lifts off from the ground. So when we're coming up, we're really trying to keep drawing it down. Let's see if we can move your knees and chest with synchronicity, which I am not very good at. So you can try and do better than me. Okay, let's see if we can hold the bottom position for a moment. So lower back down, upper back lifted, heels down into the ground. Maybe we can inhale, the arms up, so we go right, left, exhale, right, left, back down, and then change direction. Inhale, left, right, left, right, left. that lower back in the ground. If the lower back comes off the ground, then draw the knees back in. One more. See if we can hold the arms up for a whole breath. Lower back on the ground. Exhale, hands down, and then one more. Lower back down, extend the legs a bit more if you can. And exhale, release back. Just let yourself slide into Shavasana. And let the breath really go and smooth all the abdominal muscles. And let's exhale, bring your knees up, feet on the ground. We're going to inhale, stretch the right leg towards the ceiling. Exhale, we're going to turn the knee out and place the heel behind the left knee. Inhale, opening that right thigh as far as it goes without lifting the hips. We can keep the hands gently on the front of the hips to keep them balanced. Exhale, bring the knee back all the way down to the ground. And then we'll change direction. Inhale, left foot up. Exhale, turn the knee out, come and rotate, place the ankle over the knee, and then inhale, open the left thigh out to the side, hips down. Exhale, knee to chest, foot down. Moving with your breath. Inhale, up and rotate. Exhale, come and place the foot across the other leg. Inhale, open that thigh wide. And exhale, come back. Next time you're on your right foot. Let's cross the foot outside the left knee. And then we're going to come and place the hands down on the mat or do your arms alongside the body. Really engage the left foot into the ground. And on the inhale, we're going to drop the lower back, lift the hips, push the hips towards the ceiling. Exhale, roll down. And inhale, lift. Trying to lift both sides of the hips equally. Let's do this for 6 breaths. On the 6th breath, see if you can hold the up position for 3 to 6 breaths. As you're holding up, notice which part of your body is in contact with the ground and press into the ground. Squish the mat underneath you. Use that strength all the way to the parts of your body that are suspended to really lift lower back, hips, glutes, and that right thigh. When you come down, squeeze the knee into your chest and place it back. Take a moment before you change sides. Fully exhaling, releasing everything that can now relax so that we can inhale, left leg up, turn it out, exhale, cross it over the right knee, and taking our time, pressing the foot into the ground. Inhale the hips up, Exhale, roll them back. So again, we're really looking for that lower back to roll up and down, not coming down as one whole piece of plank. You want to feel the joints between each vertebra as we roll up and down, slowing it down, going less far if you need more concentration to really get the lower vertebrae into the ground. And again, repeating 6 breaths and holding it up on the 6th breath, pushing down with the shoulders, with the length of the arms, with the right foot, lifting the front of the right hip away, lifting the left hip away from the ground. Holding for 6 to 8 breaths. And exhaling, releasing down, bringing the knee back to the chest, both knees to your chest. You can interlock your fingers over the knees and just rest here. Find comfort in that upside down child pose. On an inhale, let's reach the feet and the hands towards the ceiling and just drop your shoulders into the ground and aim your toes towards your fingertips, but without reaching the fingertips out of the shoulders. So I'm just going to look for that, and wherever we get, whatever distance there is between our toes and our fingers, we're going to try and imagine that there's an invisible stick in between, and we're going to inhale, open the legs and the arms out to the side without changing the distance between the feet and the fingers. On the exhale, synchronize, bring them back. And inhale, open. You're opening, you're still drawing your knees towards your shoulders and your legs are straight as they go. Turning the toes out as they're coming out towards the side. Synchronizing hands and legs. Inhale to open, exhale to close. Next inhale, we're going to hold. So keeping the legs nice and open, keeping the arms in front of the legs. Holding here. Again, reaching with your toes to your fingers, but your shoulder blades stay down, your neck is long. And then exhale, bend your knees, bring them back to your chest. Squeeze your knees in. And we're going to go from here to eagle pose. So lying down eagle pose. Extending the legs, crossing the left leg really far behind the right leg, and coming to squeeze the outer lower legs together, and then taking the arms. So top leg is bottom arm. We're just going to breathe here again with that sensation of drawing the lower belly towards the ground. Imagine you're going to want to lift the shoulders, but you don't, because you still engage that way. Try and get the engagement all the way to the fingertips and the toes, and to keep the shins and the forearms horizontal. Lifting them away from the ground, holding for one more breath, and exhale, release. Take whatever posture you need to loosen before we do the other side. And again, extending the leg, crossing this time the left over the right, tightening the space between squeezing the outer lower legs together, and then left arm under, right arm over. Take the hands, breathe deeply, lower back against the ground. The intention is to lift the hips and the shoulders, but they're not. And then to lift the forearms and the shins as high as they go and staying horizontal. Following the breath. Holding for 2 more. And exhale. Let's let your legs slide out. Breathe into Shavasana. Every breath, letting all the muscles of the front of the hips and the abdomen really release. Weight of the body, resting down, shoulders releasing, arms and hips and legs. Let's inhale, take a deep stretch. Exhale, knees to chest. And we're going to place our legs in Marichyasana. So in that Ashtanga pose. So basically, we're going to have the left foot, left knee bent in front of us, and then the right ankle. It's what we did on Monday. I'm going back to my rolling back to standing. So left foot facing the same direction as the body, right ankle crossed behind the left foot with the right thigh coming out to the side. Now we're going to inhale, extend the arms overhead. On the exhale, lift the head, lift the tips, and then come into a side angle. We're not going to go straight into standing, but we've got, so I land on my folded right leg. My screen is very dark today, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's too outside. I'll have to work. So I'm landing on my right thigh and shin, and I'm going to try and take some momentum and lean forward and take my fingertips down here. So I want my body to come inside my left foot, when my left foot is planted and my left sit bone is lifted. And then inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, uncross the legs. And like we did at the start, we're going to lower the back, round the back down, extend the legs as the back is down, and then go all the way down. Lift the fish. Let's stay the same side again. So crossing right leg under left ankle, lifting the hips, rolling up, reaching forward. And I reach forward until I put weight on my foot, and then I slowly lean back onto my right leg. And I'm gonna exhale, uncross my leg, drop my lower back, extend my leg, drop my upper back. And see if we can try the other direction. So knees to chest, right leg, legs bent, crossing left ankle under the right, and rolling up, all the way to nearly kneeling. So that's the idea. So let's just practice change leg every time, unless there is one side that you need to understand how it works. So we come back down, then legs straight, roll the lower back down, extend the legs, extend the chest, cross your legs, come back. See if you can come and lift onto the standing foot, and then reverse. So you're coming inside. You've got one foot planting down into the ground and your upper body reaching inside that thigh. Nice. Try and get your, when you're coming back down, try and get your lower back down first and then extend the leg. Because if the legs are down already, it's hard to keep the back on the ground. That's really hard for you, Carol, but that's exactly what you need and what I need. And it's good for everyone else too. Okay, that's it. And then crossing your legs, little momentum with the legs. Go plant that foot, reach inside. Yes, good one, Jer. Excellent. Okay, next time you come up, let's stay into that Vinyasa pose. So let's say we start with the right foot planted, and then we're just going to use our arms or our elbows to try and extend the spine in this direction. So my right sit bone is very lifted. My left thigh is down into the ground. And I'm just keeping myself forward because I've hooked my arm around my right leg. And I'm just going to breathe here, trying to find the back of my body, find my spine. Notice which way it's twisted. And see if we can lengthen. So on the inhale, from the tailbone to the lower back, to the upper back, to the top of the neck. And exhaling, softening everything that can be softened without losing the length. If it feels good, I can reach my hands out to the side or out forward. On the exhale, I can really squeeze my right foot down into the ground. Notice the sensations in the hips. And then inhale again, grow from the inner belly, the front of the body. And exhale, push into the right foot. And slowly reverse, come back to center, and let's go straight into the other side. So planting the left foot, leaning into the right thigh. And feel free to shuffle to adjust the distance of the feet. And then trying to lengthen the spine, using your arms to draw yourself forward. And try and think if your spine is twisted or rounded in one way or another. And let it be wherever it wants to be, but try and visualize each little joint in the vertebrae in your back. And using the muscles around the back, just create a micro space in between each one of them. And same thing with your shoulders. If your shoulders feel like they're really tight to your neck, try and find space wherever your body needs space. And use the hands for support, gripping the mat if that helps. Pushing the left foot down into the ground as you exhale. And inhaling, lengthening, finding space. And inhaling, coming back to center. Let's exhale. Come to hands and knees. And today we're going to experiment with camel pose for back bend. So if that doesn't work for you, you can try bridge pose. If not, we're going to try and come to kneeling. And we're going to come and kneel tall. And we're going to Let our tailbone really drop. Feel the front of the body really lengthen. And slowly lean back. And we're going to lean back with the shoulders back and the tailbone as far back as it goes. And then we're going to exhale. All those exercises we did today, like when we were kind of lifting back, same idea. We're really going to try and push the lower back and roll down into sitting on our heels with the tailbone as tucked as we can. And then inhale, lengthen, come up, exhale again, push the tailbone down, come and heel back, and inhale, coming back. So hands can be out to the side for support, they can be on the lower back. And if you can reach your hands to the ground behind you, then we're going to try and stay here. I think this is something that, oh no, Sharon, you got it. So see, does this happen? And again, you don't want those sensations to be, it's quite intense on the quads, on the front of the thighs. You don't want the sensations on the knees. Okay, so if you do have your hands back, then, and you can have blocks underneath your hands, then we can find a place that's comfortable for the fingers and see if we can have that bridge intention. So, you know, usually we do that with the feet and the shoulders on the ground. Well, it's kind of the same thing. We're gonna try and by pushing the hips forward to extend the angle of the knees to the thighs. And then on the exhale, again, tilting the pelvis, dropping the hips. Let's come all the way into a child pose. We might be able to do the whole sequence with the hands down by the feet. Let's see how that works. So stay in the child pose long enough to find length in the lower back and to find energy moving away from the quads. Inhale, let's come up to kneeling tall. And pushing the tailbone back, lean back, come and find the ground behind you. And this time we can look up if that feels good. Again, try and keep your knees from sliding too far away from each other. And exhale. Slowly release. And let's swing your legs forward. We're going to just take a wide-legged forward bend. So feet in butterflies. Oh yeah, actually let's do it this way. So feet in butterfly, walking your hips forward, hands up. And then reach forward with the hands. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen forward. And exhale, come all the way down. While you're there, without touching, without controlling them, look at your toes. And try and bring the tip of each toes together with the toe of the other foot. And see if you can find those sensations. Only use your hands to help if you really need to. And see if you can bring them together one at a time and then reverse the order. And inhale, come and grab your ankles. Straighten your spine. Let's take 5 breaths here. So taking hold of the ankles with the hands, drawing the shoulder back, pushing the sit bones down, crown of the head up. Nice and tall. Exhale, release your legs down. So let's come back. Let's always try and, because I think this will help with the psoas and the kind of like lower back that arches too much. So when we go down to the ground, let's always try and start from that like bent knee, very straight back, and then tilt the pelvis and feel that like, so your pelvis is tilted, so you're like you're behind the, like the sitting bones are pointing forward, and you're kind of like a nice balance part, and it's really trying, and I'm not doing it right because it's something that I found recently and I think it's going to really get good, trying to open the angle with the thighs and the upper body at the same time so that they get both on the ground at the same time, but I don't do it right. So it's like really kind of like feel like that, you know, the leg to floor space and the lower back to floor space, and trying to kind of move them in synchronicity. It's hard. We just keep practicing and we get it. Okay, we're on the ground. Let's do just a few rotations, opening the arms up to the side, knees to chest. We'll do 3 times on each side. So exhale, knees to one side. Inhale, look right the other way. Exhale. Come back to the other side. Inhale here. We'll just do 3 times on each side and then stay 6 to 8 breaths on each side. And then come into Shavasana. Count your 1 breath. When you're finished, your twist on both sides, extend your legs, extend your arms, rest your body back down on the ground. And for the next few minutes, let yourself be. Notice what is there, the breath, the body. The mind, the world around us. Watch for the sensations in the body. Every time you find one, gently inquire about it by letting your awareness move through all the edges of the sensation and its core. Observing whether it's changing or steady, if it feels warm or cold, soft or tough. And anytime a different sensation, a different felt comes through, also entertain it, welcome it, observe it, ask a few questions, and keep moving from sensation to sensation. And slowly bring movement back into the body. And stretch, hug, roll, whatever feels good. Maybe resting onto one side if you need to before coming back up to sitting. And sitting, hands joined together in front of your heart. Allowing full awareness of everything for one last breath. And we take a deep inhale together. Exhale with the hands, create some heat. Bring them over your face, your shoulders, your beautiful hearts, hips, knees, and feet. Back together. Namaste.
Stick.
No. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Julie.
Good. Did you feel your core already? Did you